And we saw that same thing from Serena. There was just so many different situations where they had to run away, and right now, well, still at half HP, but this is a situation you want to be happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Now, these Eldegoss auto attacks will hurt. No red buff to work with. In fact, Overlord has one of those. Was not able to steal away the blue buff. Major factor. And Overlord with agility will be able to dodge away. We've seen a lot of jump kick Dodrio so far in today's tournament. But Overlord on this mad dash will make it back. Woo, what a close call. This reject player. Gyarados there, still makes it back to the goal zone.
Nice little poke there with the tri-attack just to make sure, like, okay, I see you, let's make sure you don't quite get to me. But, whoa, the charge there is going to maybe take you a little bit too close in as we're going to see the Bellswine go down. Not sure if that was supposed to go all the way forward like that. That might have been a little bit of a misinput because that just put them directly right into 3 members of the enemy team with no support. But regardless, it's not going to matter all that much with the KO. Regidrago being challenged now, and no huge challenge from Force Gaming. They are going to be rotate top. They, I think, anticipate maybe either a push or an attempt to take that objective pretty heavily.
Bit of an embarrassment of riches with a Dodrio with a goal-scoring speed buff, with already having a passive that helps out a ton of that. We could see Dodrio look for an enemy score in the bottom goal zone, but actually it looks like they're going yet again into the enemy central. Force Gaming in the meantime, though, is picking up their experience the old-fashioned way, is secure the Regirock on the top side, and will give up the Regieleki on bottom. So Reject going to be taking a lot of the map, just trying to outpace Force Gaming at the moment, but have not been able to force as many fights. So far, the biggest win for them has been on defending their own goal zones. Sweet his pull, Emerald 2-step. Haruto's going to have to just walk away from that one. Good grass knot from Pavone to defend against a potential push from the Leafeon.
Cool to see the grass knot as well. And once again, we've seen Stockade so far in. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to survive this. Unite coming out to try and challenge, and they are just staying in this fight for so long.
No way. They took one on the way out. Will be Overlord joining the fight a little bit late. Can they sweep up the rest of the squad as a Mega Gyarados to contend with? Dodges the Dragon Breath. Unite move of their own, and they will take them down. So Konfei will eventually fall to Chaos Striker 2, and Overlord will dispatch with the rest of the roster. Reject with a Chaos Striker 2 for the Dodrio.
Feels like it's been a long time since we've seen Overlord on this Pokemon, but what a classic they love to see. And I mean, it's working so incredibly well at the moment. I mean, this is a pretty big back and forth fight. The experience, though, really starting to favor Reject so heavily. They've got to catch up on the side of Force Gaming. They have had some pretty good fights, right? Some pretty good wins in those fights. Just it's slowly tipping out of their favor. Not a lot of objectives, not a lot of experience on the map at the moment as we're at the halfway mark. So yeah, we've got to find something.
Yeah, I was going to say, top half feels like the biggest win for them, but they haven't even had a chance to break that goal zone. In fact, scoring has kind of been a little bit absent for Force Gaming in this matchup as a whole. They have gotten the only Reggie Rock so far that has spawned in on the map. That could be a source of EXP, but it feels like struggling to get their levels is on the back of this Dodrio, who is constantly taking these central area buffs. Overlord are very acute to the timers of the enemy spawns.
Right now knows there are no timers, so going up to help with this objective. Get to when the timers are there or when they're not there. That was so much damage on Soto immediately. Dude actually hit the Ice Fang, but it's not going to be enough as they're going to be able to escape. But Unite coming out from Garchomp. Great way to make it happen. A huge Unite from Lel actually able to keep them quite healthy. But can they win this 2v4? I mean, even with all this healing and the Mega, they are just getting melted down. A nice attempt to stop from Lel. They got a few points in. This could be a lot of KOs return, but no. Overlord KOing finally all that damage. Oh!
Big Revenant Ran marks multiple targets, but somehow Reject is walking away from this one. Angel Xena on the Leafeon tries to get an exchange, but the only one they take down is the Psyduck. Pee-wee very happy to jump on top of that landmine shaped like a Leafeon, as they are the only one to fall, and this is still gonna be Reject in the lead.
This has been so close to Reject getting KO'd so many times. They've just somehow avoided it. I really thought, like you said, Fall going in with that Unite was going to be able to take down something, but really they just weren't able to get any mileage out of it. I mean, levels are starting to even up just a little bit, but again, we're seeing Reject push all the way to the other side. Take even, let's look at even the ball toy, all the smallest experience you could possibly ask for. So they're just not allowing them to catch up. Over 100 points lead as well, and they're trying to get maybe a few more points. Fighting here on this goal zone a little bit scary. You might have to just back up, but you don't want to give up this tier 2 like this.
Wow, it's a lot of extra points in from Reject. That little Sweet Kiss combo so difficult to play around. I mean, Fulb can only choose to ignore so much crowd control with these Phantom Force dives. Namaswine is going to drop the Unite move and just try to back up this Sarah Ledge a little bit, but they are just getting their HP bars absolutely evaporated. Look at Pavone dropping off of the Kofe, looking to try to take a knockout of their own, but that support cannot make it far enough and cannot get within range.
I mean, that was a barely, I don't know, a barely possible escape, I guess, right there. And I'm honestly surprised that they didn't manage to get the KO on Fall in general. But that just was, again, building so much space for so much more farming as we are seeing Overlord hit level 14 at the 2-minute 40 mark. We're also going to see a level 13 Serena, and both of those are going to be so difficult to deal with. We'll see if the Comfey ends up sticking on that Serena. I do assume that's going to be the case. That's going to make it even stronger at being a higher level. I mean, I don't even know how you try to bring this back. There's a lot of really strong teamfight Unites, but with being at this big of a level disadvantage, who do you even try to take down first? The Comfey target? The Garchomp, who hasn't even really been in that fight all that much? Or Overlord?
Yeah, this is really difficult. Well, they wanted to make too much of a choice. It's already to get quite a bit of damage on Serena. Saltigan brings them all into that corridor, the perfect grassy glide. Sarah lets Unite with to try to get apply some damage, but the Garchomp is the one outlasting and going to be ending this team fight. That is 5 members down for Force Gaming at the dawn of the final stretch.
Wow, that did not take long at all for that fight to happen. I asked who they were going to target down, and the answer was unfortunately no. Well, or none of them. The other way around, no one, yeah. And Reject's answer was everybody on the side of Force Gaming all at once. Second time now that we've seen, by the way, the 2-minute fight happen at that exact spot down there on the bottom, way below the objective pit. But there is still only, less than a 200-point lead, a minute and 30 seconds left. That's what happens when you do have a fight that early in the final 2 minutes, is it gives the other team one more big chance to push back. Now, once again, I have to say it, really tough chance. I mean, they're level 15 over there, 2 level 14s. They're probably going to hit 15s pretty soon, maybe within the fight. And look, they're actually pushing their way down the bottom to maybe try to get a counter score.
Yeah, another one of those situations where currently it is Reject's game to lose, but they got points in pocket. They're going to try to make this choice an easy one. Big score already for the Garchomp. Undo Burger to break that tier 2. Sarah Ledge taking so much damage. Bitterblade will not find a single target. No healing available. The Grassnod does pull the Eldegoss and the Mega Gyarados together, and that is Angel Xena trying to use the Unite to shut one down, but it will come up short as Garchomp is terrorizing the back line. Sataka taking the front.
Oh no, that's not going to be good for Gyarados to get united, and they are just in the midst of everybody. A nice attempt, but at this point, even if you win that fight, there's only 30 seconds left. you're only really fighting for your own pride at this point because Reject is leading by 700 points, and that is going to confirm them to move on in this bracket. A well-fought third game in a close set, but unfortunately that means that Force will be going home, leaving us only one representative from the Western regions.
Wow, Force Gaming Dispatch are one of the best teams out of Japan. Reject with some incredible plays, some interesting drafts. They got everything together, and they end this with a 2-1 victory against Force Gaming. 4-digit match as well, eclipsing 1,000 points. And Team Reject from Japan continue in the Asia Champions League Finals.
We are starting to see more and more high-score games, I guess, or I should say high-score wins over time, as these teams, I think, are really starting to find their footing. And I think maybe no team has found their footing more so today than Reject in my eyes. Compared to the way that they were playing yesterday, they look so locked in and solid today. Obviously, that Game 2 maybe didn't go quite the way that they wanted it to, but Game 1 and 3 were just them in